Mrs. Helen, how many years of experience do you possess in teaching Montessori?
I started with my training in 1981, so probably is that 37 years, I believe. I taught public school before that for 7 years, but then I found Montessori and that's all I've done since.
And after your retirement, what kind of work are you doing right now?
I retired from the school, but I have a training program in Florida in the United States, and I offer to teach in training programs all over the world. So I've taught here in Taipei and Hong Kong and Beijing and Chengdu, and really enjoy visiting other countries and teaching the students there.
Nice. Please share the Montessori education you have received since you were young, and as well as the early education of your own children.
I did not know about Montessori. I took teacher training in college and did traditional teaching, and they never mentioned Montessori. So it was when my oldest son was 3, actually he was probably 4, I wanted to take him to a preschool. I didn't know what it was, and I found a Montessori school that was far away from our house, and so I needed to stay with him and then bring him home after 3 hours. So I got to see what the class was like and got very enthusiastic about it. We moved after that, and I had, at that point I had a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and we put them into a Montessori school without knowing anything about it. I was one of those parents that thought, well, Montessori is good everywhere. And so we were very lucky, very, very lucky. It was an excellent school. And then I went from there to take my training in Boston. So my older son, who is now 42, he went through 3rd grade Montessori. And my younger son, who is 40, he had 4 years of preschool. So I was very fortunate to have him in my kindergarten class, at his 5-year-old class. He was with me as a teacher, and it was wonderful to see all of the things that exploded into learning at that point.
So the reason why you decided to become a Montessori teacher is because of your son.
Right, my sons, I think I was teaching that way anyway. I was teaching in California, and I was kind of being Montessori without knowing what it was.
Every teacher has a different style of teaching. What is your Montessori style or secret?
For teaching children or interns?
For teaching children.
I think with the children, it's being very compassionate, very understanding, and at the same time, high expectations. They will do what you think they can do, but it's looking at each child and observing them and seeing what they might need. If they're very shy, I'm not going to demand they do something. If they're very smart, I'm going to kid with them and challenge them and see if they can do more things.
You just mentioned each children is special and unique. How do you identify their hidden talents in terms of in your Montessori classroom?
Well, I think it's that matter of observation. It's what Dr. Montessori said. You need to know the children, and you need to know their home, where they're coming from, their friends, their siblings, who they are, and you can't know them on the first day. You need to have them for a while, and preferably all 3 years, to be able to see them. I have training in infant toddler and started a school in California and had the toddler class, so they are wonderful. They're just all open. They're there. You see, what you see is what you get. I've taught the 3 to 6, have that training, and I've taught 6 to 9. And so seeing the different levels, you have to understand that each age child, each grouping is very different, and be looking for the strengths in those ages.
Like Mrs. Maher just told me, the ultimate goal of Montessori education is about developing the confidence and self-esteem, as well as the cultivate their spirit of independence, and let them to do the others don't. In your opinion, how do you develop this kind of qualities?
Well, definitely they need the independence, which comes from choosing the work that they do, feeling that they know how to do it. What we do in Montessori is to give them a lesson, and once they master that piece, give them one more step, not way up there somewhere, but just one more thing that they can master along those lines. With the independence, we want them to choose their work. We want them to enjoy it. I think they do need to be challenged. And that's the thing, and making it interesting to them so that they want to do a lot of that work. And it's encouraging them because it's not about the teacher, it's about the child. And so we want to find their interests and then give them more opportunity to develop those.
Okay. What are the biggest differences between the traditional classroom, traditional approach, and the Montessori environment?
I think with the traditional approach, the teacher has a curriculum that she needs to follow, and she follows it with all the children in the room. There might be special help for children who need that. I don't know that they necessarily can challenge children who can go on and do more. So it's more of a linear curriculum. It's across the board. Montessori, we're looking at each child independently. We have the curriculum for 3 to 6 now. What can you do in here? And it might be a 3-year-old who can read. That's fine, then they're reading. They're not doing what a 3-year-old would need to do. And so we are much more looking at where the child is and helping them to grow from there.
Do you mean in the traditional classroom, the center of the classroom is the teacher instead of the
Yep.
children?
Yes, the center is the teacher. And with us, that's not the case. It's the environment. We set up the environment, we guide the children, and then we want them to try and develop what they can on their own.
Therefore, do you have a restriction about the number of the children in the classroom? Because we want to give them more opportunities to become the center of the classroom.
Most of the classrooms that I have worked with or I've set up would have 25 to 28 children, a lead teacher and an assistant teacher perhaps. Hopefully the assistant teacher has some training and can help the children. That to me is the ideal.
And children from different grades, they can
Yes, they must have
they
the
can stay
3
in
to
the same
6
classroom.
year olds. Yes, they must have 3, 4, 5-year-olds in that classroom, hopefully, and boys and girls, evenly spaced. Yes, that there is no ideal, but that would be good to start with.
Yeah, what is the strength of this kind of arrangement?
What
is the strength of this kind of arrangement?
Well, they're learning from each other. So the 3-year-olds come in and they don't know much, and they're just kind of there. As they get to be 4, they find out they're older, and now there are younger ones in there that I might help, and the 4-year-olds are also looking to the 5s, who are the big kids, and they want to do the things that are there. So if you were to take the 5-year-olds out of the class, the 4-year-olds would not have as many to look up to, and they might not
It's
go
true.
as
It's
far.
true.